In the shadows of war, fear turned deadly. During World War II, a gruesome figure haunted London known as the Blackout Ripper. Imagine a city shrouded in darkness, the eerie silence punctuated by air raid sirens. This was London during the Blitz, a time of immense anxiety and uncertainty. As bombs rained down from the sky, a different kind of terror stalked the streets. The Blackout Ripper, a name whispered in fear, took advantage of the wartime blackout to prey on the vulnerable. The darkness that was meant to protect Londoners from Luftwaffe bombers became a sinister cloak for a serial killer. World War II had plunged London into chaos. The once thriving metropolis found itself under siege, with its citizens facing the relentless onslaught of war. The city, known for its resilience and spirit, was now a battleground, with every street and building bearing the scars of conflict. The city was a prime target for German bombers who sought to break the spirit of the British people by raining destruction from the skies. Night after night, the ominous drone of enemy aircraft filled the air, a harbinger of the devastation to come, and nightly air raids became a terrifying routine. The wail of air raid sirens sent shivers down the spines of Londoners, signaling the need to seek shelter and brace for impact. Families huddled together in basements and underground stations, praying for the safety of their loved ones. To hinder the Luftwaffe's navigation, a blackout was enforced, extinguishing all city lights from dusk till dawn. This measure, though crucial for survival, plunged the city into an eerie darkness. Streetlights, shop signs, and even the glow from household windows were all extinguished. The streets, once vibrant and bustling, were transformed into a labyrinth of shadows. The familiar sights and sounds of London were replaced by an unsettling silence, broken only by the distant rumble of bombs and the occasional cry for help. This wartime measure, while essential for survival, had unintended consequences. The darkness that shielded the city from enemy eyes also concealed more sinister threats. The blackout, meant to protect, became a cloak for those with malicious intent. The absence of light provided cover for criminals who took advantage of the chaos to carry out their nefarious deeds. The once safe streets of London became a breeding ground for fear and uncertainty, as the line between friend and foe blurred in the darkness and a sense of lawlessness began to permeate the city. The police, stretched thin by the demands of war, struggled to maintain order. Their patrols through the darkened streets were a constant reminder of the fragile grip on safety that the city held. It was in this environment of fear and uncertainty that the Blackout Ripper emerged, a figure whose name would become synonymous with terror. His crimes, brutal and senseless, cast a chilling pall over an already beleaguered populace, adding a new layer of horror to their nightly ordeal. His crimes casting a chilling pall over an already beleaguered populace. The people of London, already enduring the hardships of war, now faced a new, insidious threat from within their own city. The Blackout Ripper's reign of terror would leave an indelible mark on the history of London's darkest hour. The Blackout Ripper's reign of terror began in February 1942. His victims, all women, found brutally murdered in the darkened streets of London. The killer's modus operandi was chillingly consistent. He targeted women alone at night, using a sharp instrument, likely a knife, to inflict gruesome wounds. The victims were often found posed, their bodies displayed in a macabre spectacle. The brutality of the crimes, coupled with the wartime backdrop, sent shockwaves through London and beyond. News of the murders spread quickly, fueling a climate of fear and paranoia. Scotland Yard faced an uphill battle in their hunt for the Blackout Ripper. The wartime conditions made investigations incredibly difficult. The blackout, meant to protect the city, also shielded the killer, providing him with an almost impenetrable cover. Forensic technology was in its infancy, and DNA analysis was non-existent. Investigators relied on traditional methods, witness testimonies, fingerprint analysis, and the tedious process of piecing together clues in the dark. The pressure to catch the killer mounted as the body count rose, but the Blackout Ripper remained elusive. Section 5. Grip of Fear. The Blackout Ripper's crimes had a profound impact on the people of London. His brutal acts were not just isolated incidents, they were a series of calculated murders that sent shockwaves through the city. The fear was palpable, and it spread like wildfire, affecting everyone, but especially women. Fear permeated everyday life, particularly among women. The sense of dread was omnipresent, making even the most mundane activities feel perilous. Women found themselves constantly looking over their shoulders, their anxiety heightened with every step they took. The city, already grappling with the constant threat of air raids, now faced a different kind of terror, one that lurked in the shadows close to home. The air raid sirens, once a signal to take cover from bombs, now also served as a grim reminder of the lurking danger on the streets. Women were afraid to walk alone at night. The darkness that once provided a cloak of safety now felt like a trap, concealing potential threats. The streets, once bustling with activity, became deserted as night fell, amplifying the sense of isolation and fear. Even in groups, they felt vulnerable. The camaraderie that usually brought comfort was overshadowed by the looming threat. Women huddled together, their conversations hushed and their eyes darting around, ever watchful for any sign of danger. The once vibrant nightlife of London was subdued as people chose to stay indoors, seeking safety in numbers. Pubs and clubs that were once filled with laughter and music now stood silent and empty, their doors closed as a precaution against the unknown terror. The Ripper's reign of terror had a chilling effect, transforming London from a city fighting for survival into a city gripped by fear. The psychological impact was profound, altering the very fabric of daily life. The once resilient spirit of Londoners was tested as they navigated this new, terrifying reality. The murders continued, each one a grim reminder of the killer in their midst. The police, working tirelessly, felt the pressure intensify. The public, hungry for answers, grew increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress. Theories about the killer's identity ran rampant, from enemy spies to disgruntled soldiers. The lack of a suspect only fueled the speculation, turning every stranger into a potential suspect in the eyes of a fearful public. London, already on edge from the war, was now teetering on the brink of hysteria. In April 1942, just 2 months after the first murder, a breakthrough came in the case. A suspect, Gordon Cummins, a 28-year-old Royal Air Force trainee, was apprehended. Cummins was linked to the murders through a combination of eyewitness accounts, physical evidence, and his own erratic behavior. He was found guilty of the murders and sentenced to death. On June 18, 1942, just 4 months after his killing spree began, Cummins was hanged at Wandsworth Prison. Justice, though swift, did little to alleviate the trauma inflicted upon the city. The capture and execution of Gordon Cummins brought an end to the Blackout Ripper's reign of terror, but the scars of his crimes ran deep. The case became a stark reminder of the vulnerability of wartime London, a city struggling to cope with one crisis only to be confronted with another. The fear he instilled lingered long after his demise, a chilling testament to the power of darkness and the vulnerability it can exploit. The Blackout Ripper story serves as a dark chapter in London's history, a chilling reminder of the human capacity for evil, even amidst the chaos of war. Though Gordon Cummins was convicted of the crimes, some questions surrounding the Blackout Ripper case remain unanswered. The conviction brought a sense of closure to many, but for others it opened a Pandora's box of mysteries and doubts that have persisted through the decades. Certain details of the crimes in Cummins' background have fueled speculation and debate over the years. The media coverage at the time was extensive, yet it left many gaps and inconsistencies that have only added to the intrigue. Who was Gordon Cummins really, and what drove him to commit such heinous acts? Was Cummins solely responsible for all the murders attributed to the Blackout Ripper? Some believe that he may have had an accomplice, or that other unrelated murders were mistakenly linked to him. The evidence, while compelling, was not entirely conclusive, leaving room for doubt and alternative theories. Did the chaos of war and the cloak of darkness allow another killer to operate unnoticed? Wartime London was a city shrouded in shadows, where the blackout conditions created an environment ripe for criminal activity. Could it be that another predator took advantage of the confusion and fear that permeated the city? The passage of time has done little to quell the curiosity surrounding this dark period in London's history. Each passing year seems to bring new theories and discoveries, as historians and true crime enthusiasts continue to delve into the case. The mystery of the Blackout Ripper remains as compelling today as it was in the 1940s. The Blackout Ripper story continues to fascinate and horrify, a stark reminder of the enduring power of mystery and the darkness that can reside within the human soul. As we look back on this chilling chapter of history, we are reminded of the fragility of human life and the ever-present potential for evil that lurks in the shadows.